The Fox News decision desk can now officially project that Donald Trump will become the 47th president of the United States.
The crowd went absolutely nuts.
It is now official. CNN projects that Donald Trump has been elected president, defeating Vice President Kamala Harris and making a political comeback unlike any.
The election results are in. President Donald Trump is now the 47th president of the United States. With the whole world watching, international students and those living in the USA on a work or exchange visa in particular are on the edge of their seats. Did their worst nightmare just become reality, or is there nothing to fear? Will this outcome change their dreams of studying and living in America? And how will international student education change in the future with these results? In this video, we'll first analyze the past policies under Trump. Then, dive deeper into topics on visas, legal immigration, and the future of international student education in the U.S. International students make up a substantial portion of U.S. higher education, with nearly 450,000 F-1 visas issued annually. Students from countries such as China, India, and Nigeria seek education in the U.S., not only for its high academic standards, but also for the potential to work after graduation and eventually gain residency. However, policies vary widely depending on the administration, impacting student decisions and long-term plans. 1. Past policies. Under Trump's first administration, they used a playbook of 5 Ds to guide their immigration policy: delay, defer, discourage, deny, and deport. Major immigration actions taken by the Trump administration included travel bans, increased deportations, deployment of the military to the border, the construction of an extended border wall, adding asylum restrictions and lowering refugee admissions. Ozan Say, the director of the Office of International Students and Scholars at Yale, mentions that while a lot of these changes did not impact Yale students, Executive Order 13769, also known as the Muslim ban, led to a notable absence of Iranian students on campus. The order, which was in effect from Jan. 27, 2017 to March 6, 2017, blocked the entry of people from Iran, Iraq, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Syria, and Yemen for at least 90 days. Additionally, on July 6, 2020, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, announced that non-immigrant F1 and M1 students attending schools operating entirely online may not take a full online course load and remain in the United States, and that the State Department would not issue visas to students who are enrolled in fully online schools. 2. Visas and immigration. Though immigration policies affecting international students are not always legislated, the U.S. president wields considerable influence over visa-related decisions. For instance, administrative adjustments, such as reallocating consular staff or tightening processing timelines, can affect how quickly visas are issued. During Trump's first term, delays in visa processing grew due to staff reallocations to border duties, creating backlogs for international students at institutions like Yale. David Hopkins, a political science professor at Boston College, explained that administrative adjustments could drastically alter the visa landscape, even without new legislation. Many international students and advocates worry that a second Trump administration would revert to strict oversight, using executive orders to restrict OPT, streamline deportations, and create an environment where visas are harder to secure and process. Regarding immigration, Trump talked about his desire for legal immigration in his victory speech just after winning 270 electoral votes on January 6th.
We want people to come back in, but we have to let them come back in, but they have to come in legally. They have to come in legally.
There is, however, one area of legal immigration that has seen restrictions under both the Trump and Biden administrations. These would be related to immigration from China. On May 29, 2020, Trump signed the suspension of entry as non-immigrants of certain students and researchers from the People's Republic of China. This presidential proclamation denies entry by any Chinese citizens through an F or J visa, which are respectively for full-time academic studies and exchange programs, in the case that they are connected to China's military-civil fusion strategy. The Biden administration notably did not overturn this proclamation. "We had a few denials based on that proclamation," Ozan Say said, "but that's not just unique to the Trump administration." Hopkins noted that while the Trump administration would have an especially suspicious attitude towards China, the U.S. government exhibits concerns against Chinese immigration regardless of the party in power. 3. Future policy ambiguities. Despite the significant focus on Trump has not provided a detailed policy platform on international students. Instead, the primary focus has been on broader immigration issues, such as border security and asylum regulations, leaving specific student visa policies ambiguous. Recently, however, former President Donald Trump promised to give green cards to all international college students post-graduation. Without clear policy commitments, many students feel uncertain about the future and are considering alternative study destinations should U.S. policies become unfavorable. Sarah Spreitzer, from the American Council on Education, emphasized that even minor changes in visa policies could impact the appeal of the U.S. as a study destination. Given the cost and complexity of obtaining a U.S. education, students may seek countries with more predictable and accommodating policies, especially if OPT or H-1B access becomes restricted. David Beer, an immigration policy expert at the Cato Institute, noted that even under the Biden administration, denial rates for African students are disproportionately high, illustrating that access to U.S. education remains challenging for some regions. 4. International student sentiment. According to the QS Country Perceptions Survey, 35% of international students globally said they would be more likely to study in the U.S. if the Democrats win, while only 25% expressed the same preference if Republicans prevail. Students from Africa, the Middle East, and Latin America showed particular support for a Democratic victory, linking Democratic policies with more favorable visa and work conditions for international students. Regional differences in sentiment are notable. 50% of Western European students said they would be less likely to consider studying in the U.S. under a Republican administration, largely due to perceptions of restricted immigration and reduced work opportunities. These attitudes highlight a broader trend in which international students' decision-making is shaped by perceived political stability and openness. Conclusion. Although it may be difficult to come to conclusions on what precisely will happen, one thing is clear. The 2024 presidential election has the potential to completely alter the lives of hundreds of thousands of students participating in international education in the USA. For international students who face the expiration of their OPT and others with similar concerns, the election underscores the delicate balance between educational aspirations and immigration realities. Whether Trump opens or closes doors for international students will significantly impact the U.S.'s standing in global higher education, with many students prepared to adjust their study plans based on the outcome. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to hit the like button and leave a comment about your thoughts of the election outcome.